that you have of this kind of thing. If you want a more writing for an academic audience attempt to project this, reading number 77 of mine tries to do that. And it's totally understandable that that portion should be mysterious because that's the deepest level. And 77 goes through levels, so that may help. Announcement 2, this little follow-up seminar, I have gotten innumerable people telling me or saying in one context or another they're interested in it, but they can't make the time when it's scheduled, which is Monday 1 to 3. If that's true of you, now, the proportion of people who said that to people who it works for is so disproportional that I'm thinking of moving it. So, okay, if you're one of those people, email me, give me your schedule, and we'll see if we can reschedule it. Okay, so today's topic. Today's topics. So the obvious kind of thing of Buddhism and social action, what's the relationship? What visions these traditions have for a good society? And that's something that you may care about. And finally, a whole bunch of groups that feel that there's a direct effects of the spiritual or the meditative or the sanity of individuals on the world and the kinds of things that they're saying and doing about that. Okay. Now, in principle, we've talked about interdependence and the unity of everything, and so everything you do affects the world. But, you know, what do Buddhists actually do in line with this? So, what do you think? What's your image? Or what's your image of meditation or the meditator and society? And I think we have two conflicting images of this in our culture, but what's your idea? You know, is meditation this passive thing where you're navel gazers? I know a lot of people in meditation groups will say that's their parents' image. What are you doing? And I say, oh, well, you're letting me do something useful that will help you get a job and, do social things. So is it active, passive, relevant, irrelevant? What do you think? Yeah. So another image is of Buddhists and meditators as, long-haired radicals, 60s, protesting everything because they're just protesters by nature. And we kind of have both of these images. Right? So now the whole point of everything that we'll go at today is that meditation practice and action are not separate things. And the first part is going to be Thich Nhat Hanh's take on this. This is the pause where you come back to your true nature with a bell so that you can listen to it.
We used to talk about our consciousness in terms of seeds, in terms of visions. Visions mean seeds. We have seeds of peace, of joy, of happiness. There are seeds of war, of anger, of despair, of hatred in us. There are seeds of peace and joy and loving kindness in us that need to be touched. We should learn to touch them by ourselves. And we should need our friends to come and help touching them. This is the purpose. I always encourage my friends to begin the practice by touching peace, touching the positive seeds within us, and touching the positive seeds within the other person. It's pleasant. It helps nourish each other. And we know that touching, the deepest kind of touching is with the energy of mindfulness. And in Buddhist meditation, to generate the energy of mindfulness, to touch this is very crucial. We are encouraged not to touch the war first. We are encouraged not to touch the pain, the despair, the suffering first. And touching this, we can do as individuals, we can do as a community, we can do as a nation. And it is pleasant. And I like to touch my eyes with the energy of mindfulness. I have the energy of mindfulness, which is generated by the practice of mindful breathing. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. That is the practice of touching your breath. And that practice is called...
All right, so we know where he's... We know where he's going from there. And the one thing he points out later on is that if you engage, now he's speaking to a group of activists, if you rush off and engage in action when you're touching war rather than touching peace and your own peacefulness first, you do it very aggressively and you make a mess. And some of you may have experienced this. Okay, now, there's a movement that's loosely called engaged Buddhism that seems to be happening all over the world today, including Theravada countries, which is interesting. So here's some examples. In Sri Lanka, Aryaratna, a great land reform movement, he's sort of rewritten the Four Noble Truths in ways that lead to land reform and group action at the village level. And going on. Thailand, Ajahn Buddhadasa, many reforms, democratic, environmental. And what these people are doing all over the world is finding very clever, particularly pointed and appropriate ways in their own society of accomplishing various things. So one of the things that he's known for is in the environmental movement, Thailand's forests are just being destroyed, raped, is ordaining trees so that they can't be touched. not something you think of here that would work here, and we all know about Aung San Suu Kyi in Burma. Now, you can contemplate why in Theravada, where you don't have explicit Mahayana teachings, my feeling is that meditation needs to involvement with or without any explicit doctrine. But you could say, well, there's something going on in the world today. Either way, it's interesting. Mahayana, okay, peace, justice, prisons, poverty, various groups addressing various issues, working in various local ways, protests, all the rest, marches. There are two main groups in the United States, Buddhist Peace Fellowship, which is the Thich Nhat Hanh organization, and the Peacemaker Order. So Buddhist Peace Fellowship and the Order of Interbeing. If you are interested in this and want to know more, get the journal Turning Wheel. They publish it. It has all the information you could want, and they do various things, sitting in quiet, peaceful protest, and one sign I thought was particularly cute. Interesting, the logic of the ethics of these three stages, the total Buddhist idea about ethics is when you become wise enough, you know what to do, and you do it, but meanwhile, there are various precepts or rules to guide you, and they're kind of three. The earliest ones are the standard thou shalt nots, don't kill, steal, blah, blah, in positive terms, what you should do, and then engaged Buddhism adds some further things, and here's some examples. Killing, don't kill, becomes cherish life, becomes don't let others kill, protect life, prevent war. Stealing, don't steal, respect property. Possess nothing that should belong to others, and yes, respect the property of others, but prevent them from doing bad things in terms of property. Lying, don't lie, becomes speak the truth, becomes speak truthfully and constructively, and have the courage to speak out about situations of injustice, even if it's threatening to you or your ego or even your body, and so on. The Peacemaker Order, Roshi Bernard Glassman, centered in New York, does all kinds of amazing things that builds businesses that can employ people that are otherwise unemployable and train them. He leads tours of Auschwitz and things like that. And he has sesshin on the streets where you are a street person for a while, and that's the sesshin. Here's a picture of him sleeping on a sidewalk, which has been much criticized because he doesn't look like a street person. He's very well dressed. His socks match. Okay, there are three tenets: not knowing. That's where you admit you don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle the whole thing. You bear witness. You listen deeply. You look deeply at the sorrow of what is going on in this particular situation. And then you do what needs to be done according to whatever amount of wisdom you have gathered so far. But these are all, we're dealing with things in the bad way that they are right now. So what's the vision? Suppose that you won. Okay, now, everybody in this room thinks there's something wrong with something in the world, right? I mean, we all have good critical minds. Not perfect. Well, suppose you were given power today. That, okay, you can make it the way you want it. How would you have things work? And Buddhism, there's lots of interesting dialogue going on. Everything from, well, there should be no hierarchy, everyone should sit in a circle, and whatever, to you need a president, you need a king, an enlightened king, who has real power that is acting from an enlightened base. And in particular, the Vajrayana is that society is actually a living monolith, just the way you are. So note, and you can take this away, you are an internal society. You're kind of a hologram of the external world. There's not just one you, there's a multiple of voices in there. And anything that you do working with the internal microcosm reflects into the external. And you want your wisdom to rule, not your neuroses that make you miserable. And then they go further and they say likewise in society as a whole. And the one thing that we have in Western society that says anything like this is Plato's vision of philosopher king. Okay, third point. A lot of people have come and talked to me and emailed me and so on about the world is in such a terrible state. Does it even matter if I get my degree? Is everything going to blow up? There's just so much corruption everywhere, And so there is this trend right now that says, yes, we're at a crucial juncture, and there's a direct power of what people do spiritually, and I put that in quotes because you don't have to label it that way. You certainly don't have to label it as religious, where we either go to destruction or world awakening quickly. And here are examples of some of the groups that are doing stuff about this. Shambhala, saying, yes, right now, tune into the possibilities of enlightened society and the training as a peaceful warrior and the various prophecies and so on around that, and various practices and so on aimed at radiating this into the world and training people as peaceful warriors. Corlight, a South African woman, predicting similar kinds of things, not with a Buddhist background, combining a variety of traditions. This translucent revolution, new book that they haven't sent me yet, I ordered it, but from what I understand, a Westerner who's done research all over the world saying that something is happening and people are more easily tuning into a variety of principles that, in fact, we've talked about in the class. Celebrating Life, the organization of a Catholic priest, now an ex-Catholic priest, because he and the tradition decided he was just getting a little bit too far out. because he healed people, and he kind of heals people, and it's a little bit beyond what they all wanted. And now doing the same kind of thing. And finally, this absolutely fascinating group in India called the Oneness Movement. Here is the pair of teachers, the man and his wife, who are saying the same kinds of things, but that what we need is not more teaching, so they have no teachings that go with this. What people need now is experience. And they train people, and people come back, and the idea is, and they go into whatever their religious tradition is, to heighten the experience of the reality of that tradition going through all the concepts. And the reason that I say it's remarkable is that last summer, I actually went to some of their things that they do when they come back. And I could, meditators normally take a long time for things to happen. It's very gradual. And this seemed to be happening very quickly. People would come back from their training there, and they'd start out by, first of all, saying, oh, well, it's fantastic, but, saying it in a normal way, and then doing whatever their thing was. If they were a therapist, and they said their normal therapeutic things and fix it within their conceptual structure, or if they were, whether Mary was their thing, they would do that. And then they would say it was still working on them as time went on. They seemed to get more and more genuine and actually connected, and more able to transmit this to other people. And what I've observed recently among meditators in general is that people in many groups who spend 20, 30 years flunking along, kind of learning their group's way of talking and looking and doing, and kind of seeing little things, or suddenly things are happening to them. So this seems to be a really good time, if you're interested in this stuff, to get into it, because things may be happening faster than they used to. So bottom line, what you do counts, whether it's inner or outer, and there may be something going on in the world. So go, everybody, and be an enlightened king in your own inner mandala and see what happens in the world. Oh, yeah, and turn in your forms if you haven't yet.
I have an email, by the way?
No.
Oh.
When did you send it? I didn't check this
Last
morning.
week.
Last week?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure, I signed up for the independent study for 2 units.
Yes.
I just wanted to remind you that that's what I did.
Oh, I need to, I didn't get your email.
That's okay. Do you want me to send it to you again? Or?
Yeah.
All I said was that
No, I'm just worried about, not having gotten your email.
Yeah, that's true. So I just wanted to know if you would, right now, I have it
It's
as
fine if it's 2 units, but
for credit, but I can change it to like a pass or fail. How would you like to?
well, independent studies, I think all have to be pass-fail,
It
right?
depends on the department.
Oh, right, but because yours was a graduate one.
Yeah, but social
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
but in our department, we can